Right, I'm going to change the pedals over on my bike. You'll have to excuse the dirt and the fact I've still got my pyjamas on. But tomorrow morning I've got to do a 150-mile ride. Probably a really bad idea to change my pedals the day before. But it's something I'm going to have to do because these have got all creaky and squeaky and they're driving me mad. So I need to take the old ones off. And I always get confused about which way to turn it. Sometimes you use a spanner that side, sometimes the bike's upside down, sometimes it isn't. But the easy thing to remember is to undo it, do the opposite of the drive. So drive is that way because it's turning the wheel that way, which means I need to turn that way to undo it. And I can be pretty confident about that. Try not to get grease on my carpet. Drives that way, which means I'm undoing it that way. And yes, I had loosened these off before I made the video, just to make sure I could get them off. But if you remember that rule, and they're stiff and you can't get them off, at least if you remember the rule, you can take a hammer to it. Right, grease. Put some grease on. Some people say that you should use like Loctite or copper grease or whatever. I've used normal grease for most of my life now, so I don't think it's a problem. Drives that way, so I need to do it up with the drive. Oh, oh shit. These ones have got slightly bigger. Drives that way. Okay. For God's sake, when you do this, it should be really easy to do up. If it feels like it isn't, you might be cross-threading it, and if you do that, you've got a real problem. Okay. Doesn't need to be up too tight. Put the other one on. Drives that way, I'm doing it up, so it's that way. Already got some grease on it. There we go. And while I'm here, I should probably change my Stages battery again, because it seems to run out every single ride, which drives me nuts. But I shall do that once I turn this camera off.